Hello everyone. Um, Today I'm going to talk about server-side routing versus client-side routing. Server-side routing is happening when you first enter the URL to the address bar on the browser, and it always happens first. So uh, at the first time when the user enters the URL and then hits enter or clicks go, then the user sends a request to the server, and then server is going to respond that. Server is going to resolve that request and respond it with the appropriate page. So this is happening always first. And the second thing about server-side routing is always trying to resolve incoming route on the server. So it takes the request and then looks for the appropriate documents, files, and pages, then finds it and then resolves that request with that appropriate files and application parts, then responds it with the related pages. And the last thing, in case of unknown routes, the routes that are unknown for the server, which is not defined or described in the server, so it will throw a 404 error, which is not found, or unknown URL. So this is basically what server-side routing is. Every time user will send a request, then server will try to resolve that request and then will respond it with the new page. But the client-side routing is a little bit different. It's more likely for more modern applications where the applications may be more simple, like we are doing. So it only looks like routing. Actually, it's not routing like server side. The URL changes and also the page will change, but it only happens with the help of re-rendering the components. Actually, it's not the whole page renders again. It's only re-renders the components, so the URL changes but no request gets sent. So if you check the loading loading spinner at that page title part, you won't see a cross sign over there. You will see just the circle. So it's not changing. So there's no request gets sent to the server. Then it's just changing the components. So it's just updating the DOM with re-rendering the components. And the second thing is when the app is loaded, this happens after server-side routing. Uh, After the server has sent the first response and that after user has been sent the request. So the refreshing components, re-rendering the components will always happening after the server-side routing. It's only changing the components being rendered in the main route of the server. And then the app will break or stop or crash for unknown routes, or in case of the developer has set some custom messages or error signs. So the app will break or stop for unknown routes. So these are the basics of the basic differences between server-side routing and client-side routing. Server-side routing is basically re-rendering the page at the server, finding the correct or related route and pages and then documents related with that one, linked with that one, and then response with those stuff to the request of the user. But the client-side routing is is something like all the files, all the documents or the info, the data is already at the client side. So it's only looking like routing URL changes, but no request gets sent to the server. So only re-rendering the DOM parts like the needed components. And let's have a look what I was trying to say. If you have a look to the title part of the browser, the cross sign or the circle sign will look like. Oops. So at this web page, this is React.js.org. This is using the client-side routing, but this one is using server-side routing. Let's have the internet speed a little bit down so we can see the difference better. Yeah, let's make it slow 3G, and then let's have a look first at the server-side routing version 1. And if you click, you see it takes a little bit time. Not much, but a little bit. But also, I want you to look at here and here. So it changes. See? It takes time and it wants to cross, which means it's reloading the page. So it means actually it's sending the request and then getting the response. So see? So every time you click, it takes some time and it sends request, then gets the response from the website, from the server, sorry, and then you see the page you clicked. But on this one, if you click, you see mostly immediately. It doesn't take time because all the components are ready to be rendered in the DOM. When you click, it's just changing the component to be rendered in the page. Also, if you check this side, look at this side, on the title side, you won't see this symbol goes to cross because it doesn't sending any request to be resolved at the server. So this was the example of showing what is the main difference between server-side routing and components based changing, which means the client-side routing. Thank you for watching.